Ya, Assalamualaikum dan selamat malam. Kita jumpa lagi dalam Pemain Ke-12 bersama saya Safi Salih yang sentiasa menemani korang, Abang Rashid Saleh dan Roshan Narayan.
What's up, gang?
Yep.
Okay, for those of you who are actually watching us, we're trying to figure out what's going on because our monitor, the screen which we get all the information, is not working. Just like Malaysian football at times. It's a joke. Everybody relax. Calm down.
Kita tak
Okay?
boleh baca komen daripada korang semua.
Boleh. I
Rashid
bawa
alternative.
phone hari ni, so I brought the phone so I can see who's Rashid Saleh joined. See, I joined, but I joined our own show. So kalau ada apa-apa komen, bagi tahu saya akan baca eksklusif untuk anda semua di Pemain Ke-12.
Cantik baju bang.
Cantik, memang cantik baju. Ini actually hadiah daripada dia.
Wah.
Dia yang bagi sebab dia memang peminat Dortmund, right?
Yeah, I'm a big fan of
What
Dortmund.
what's you tell them the history?
Oh, okay. So
Not about giving the shirt, but Dortmund.
oh, but Dortmund. Okay, so I love Borussia Dortmund, and that's why I like Jurgen Klopp. Even though he went to Liverpool, I don't care. But
You can forgive him for that.
I can forgive him for that because what he did for football is a perfect example of getting a good manager or a good coach, and his philosophy going from the top all the way to the bottom, and how he brings in good players. I was very, very lucky because I was part of the World Football Summit, Asia, a long time ago. I have met the head of a few football clubs, Barcelona, Dortmund, Arsenal, all of them. And one of them became a very good friend of mine who is the head of APAC for Dortmund, Suresh. So he knew I was a Dortmund fan and he said, you know what, bro, I'm just going to give you some jerseys for myself, Rashid. We were doing a show previously before we did Pemain Ke-12.
Oh, I mean our show.
Our show.
Oops.
And that's how I got the jersey. Then I gave him one.
Oh yes.
Okay.
That's why I tengah fikir macam dia dapat. Oh, dia tu show tu.
But this show is all about the fans, right?
Yes.
It's live on Sina, it's live on Mix, it's live on our TikTok accounts. It's 2 languages, and that's the best part. We celebrate everything Malaysian, just not the language, just not football, the rakyat.
Satu-satunya show yang ada 2 bahasa dalam bahasa Melayu dan bahasa Inggeris whatsoever.
Yeah, English also.
English.
Yeah.
So minggu ni kita ada 2 tetamu jemputan yang sangat-sangat special. Tapi sebelum tu kita nak pergi ke Topik.
Kuching City FC.
Oh no,
yang
here comes Rashid.
menewaskan Penang.
Yeah.
Kenapa ni?
Oh my God.
Ronald.
Oh my good. Oh, power lah, bro.
Apa defend tu buat bang sebenarnya?
Dia tengok bola.
Tengok bola.
Dia tak tengok pemain, dia tengok bola. Defender tengah tengok bola. Watching the ball kita kata.
He's not watching the ball, he's not watching himself.
Kucing,
oh my God,
you see
bro.
the jersey is very nice, you know.
I thought you were pointing at the beautiful woman that was
the
like, I'm ready
jersey,
to
the
move that.
jersey.
move that. I love it. Nobody can go to Sarawak without being invited.
Kemenangan 2-0 tu, dia orang mara ke separuh akhir Piala Malaysia dengan agregat 2-1. Yang tu setahu saya lah.
Yelah sebab gol tu lah yang sampai Coach Wan Rohaimi cakap dia tak puas hati, game dia dibunuh lah, apalah, dia tak puas hati pasal game ni lah. Dah kalah, kata kalah lah.
But you know something which I like? The stadium, there's fans.
Yes, this is full. This season, Kuching Stadium, Negeri Stadium has been almost full,
and
the
that's so
tickets
important
so hard
for local
to get.
football and local sports.
Yes.
Fans must go and support your team or any athlete for that fact.
Tapi semua dekat Kuching dia punya fans, dia punya media marketing berjalan secara seiring itu
sebab
itu yang nampak dia punya
sebab kita
progress.
memang beri sokongan sebab satu tim je kat Sarawak sekarang. So
kan TVS pun
TVS pun ada, lepas tu Liga Sarawak pun ada di social media dan juga di TVS. So setiap Liga Sarawak tim, bukan setiap lah, actually sepatutnya setiap perlawanan dia akan buat live di Liga Sarawak.
So it's been done the right way.
Well, that's it's being started the right way because we need to have development and we need to have players coming into the system now.
That's the right way.
Or rather, there are always players, tapi the problem is they've never been promoted. So this is something we'll be talking about later.
Can.
Okay, goal seterusnya.
Yeah, let's talk about the Piala Cup, which I made a mistake
Piala
last week.
Malaysia yang seterusnya, Terengganu FC lawan UM. Ni di
Bro,
UM.
watch this goal, bro. This is top bins, bro. 1, 2, 3, pop! What a strike, bro.
Dia score
This was
hat-trick.
insane.
Dia
What
score
a
hat-trick.
strike.
Dia 3-0 lah. Berapa dia punya 3-0?
5-0.
5-0.
Yep.
But when I watch this again, bro, I mean, take a bow, young man. This was absolutely world
Ini
class.
yang lawan tim Stuart
Yeah,
Ah,
who was our
Stewart.
guest last week?
Yeah,
Yes.
last week.
Damasara. I mean, listen. At the end, I think this is a good learning curve for him and his team, and they're very new. You know, there's young kids there. There's some older players there. So once they get that right mix, you give them a few years. I think things will settle down. But they must get the financial support, people to financially support them. Then you can see better players coming in. Then you can get the students coming in. Then you get a really good
Yep.
a football outfit up and running in that area.
Okay, kita ada satu lagi. Guess what the commentator is saying?
Oh yes, can you
okay,
watch this?
boleh kita
No, you'll
tengok
enjoy
dulu,
this.
jap,
You'll
jap,
enjoy
jap.
this.
Just-
If you're a Liverpool fan, watch this, huh?
踢刺了，
对，踢呲了。
对这个球其实应该先把位置卡住，因为对他来说这种防守有无数次了，但是刚才这下就是，你可以认为是打到25分钟左右，你头脑。
So can you guess what the commentator was saying? It is Virgil van Dijk. Come on, Rashid. You know you can speak whatever language was. What language
It's
was that?
Korean.
Huh?
No, it was
No, it's not
Mandarin.
Korean.
Mandarin.
Mandarin. North Mandarin because North China because it's very strong. Yeah.
Oh,
No.
Tapi dia cakap apa tu bang? Dalam
Dia
komentar
kata Virgil van Dijk is the best defender in the world. Sepatutnya.
Can I give you another language?
Adalah defender yang paling terbaik di dunia.
No, another language. When you just said that
Saya
means
bukan-
potang goal. That means
Huh?
you scored an own goal. In Tamil, potang goal. It's another language I'm teaching you right now. I mean, listen, Virgil van Dijk was doing really well until Jamie Carragher went and said he's the best Premier League defender in the history of the Premier League. And ever since then, and that contract talks, it's been downhill for him. And I mean, sad to see that
dia
happen to
sama
a very
macam
good player.
macam Harry Maguire sebelum ni lah.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But
Tapi
Harry
Harry Maguire
mentally strong,
lain.
bro.
Dia walaupun dikecam, dia naikkan balik sendiri. Dia memang you cannot compare lah.
No, I
bukan
understand
kata
what you mean.
saya
Yeah,
saya
I'm not compare.
bukan saya kata
Yep.
saya penyokong tim-tim.
Yeah.
yang
No, but what he
ni,
said is
tapi
absolutely right. Harry
The-
Maguire, you must give
dia
him
mentality
respect.
dia
Mentality, yep.
dia kuat.
Yeah.
So between VVD
Harry.
It sounds like a disease. Sorry,
You
Virgil van
just
Dijk.
call a player a disease, bro. Pavam.
No, VVD. Then and
ST? Oh, never mind.
H. They call him H.
H. Preparation H.
No, Harry. Yeah.
Harry.
Krishna. Okay, so
Last
basically
one. Watch this.
Yang ni
This keeper, I think he's got some.
I tak nampak ni. So
No, watch this. He's gonna punch his own chest. He punches his own chest. This goalkeeper punches his own chest and falls to the ground. I've never seen anything this crazy in my life, apart from that man's head. If you're watching us live on TikTok, you'll understand what we're talking about. He's punching himself in the chest.
Ada orang komen tak bang pasal video ni dalam TikTok?
belum lagi, tapi I nak komen. Dia kalau nak dapat Oscar ke apa? Berlakon macam tu.
So I think he was trying to buy the foul,
Yeah.
like try to win the foul. See the the referee will say, "Ayo, he's been fouled," but so silly, yeah.
Tak sepatutnya lah dia buat macam tu sebab dia patut tahu sekarang dah ada VAR apa semuanya.
Dengan
macam
banyak
tu.
peminat dan penyokong ada
Kat belakang
kamera
tu.
kan.
So satu
So
yalah,
ni tim
kejadian yang-
goalkeeper dari Lincoln City,
Aha.
George Wickens.
George Wicken.
Pavam love, George. By George, I say. Do you know when you ever talk about George, I think of Wales, I think of England, I think of the United Kingdom. I think our guests for today will be around from that area.
Just because last week ada Scotland, today we
Yes.
have another
It's like Braveheart,
Actually,
but the entire region.
3,
Three?
not 2.
Two? Okay, we got some guests coming in today
Yes,
for our
Kita
show.
ada 2 tetamu jemputan pada
Hello.
Hello. Yep.
Are we sitting on the inside or outside? Oh, I'm sitting on the outside. Gavin, you can
Good.
Hey, brother, man. We're going to pretend that we don't
So
know each other, but
you
we've known
you're
each other for a
sitting in
while.
here.
Yep, I'm sitting outside.
Hey, that means we're the flying wingers, la Safi.
Yeah.
Right
I'm
wing
a
and
right
left
winger.
wing.
So,
Lopsided that, isn't it?
No. I can tell you this right now. I'll be sitting on the substitutes bench.
okay, di sebelah saya ni ada 2 tetamu khas untuk pemain ke-12. We have Gavin Olina.
That's close enough.
I've got to ask you.
Olune, yeah.
Olune. Who is your Irish name,
Yes.
but English?
Brought up in Dad's
Yeah.
Irish,
Dad's Irish.
but brought up in England in London. Yeah.
Okay, so you're like
Yeah. Hybrid. Yeah.
hybrid. Okay.
Hybrid.
Campur.
Ini pun sama campur juga di
Yeah.
this mana campur hybrid.
Matthew here is Welsh and
Up to you. Can be orang Melayu. Can be orang Melayu also orang setengah boleh.
Welsh and Thai.
But when I first came across Matthew's name, this is like, I mean, Gavin and
No.
I have known each other since 2010.
A long time, yeah.
Matt, around the same
Probably,
time.
yeah,
Around the
probably
same time.
about a year after.
Yeah.
Yeah, when I first came with Cardiff, it was
Every
2011.
time I hear your voice, I'm a rugby player, so I always think about the referee. Never mind, won't talk about that.
Okay, we're going to go live on radio right now, and then it's a very casual show, gentlemen. It's
Yep.
chit chat. Just listen to this man count down, because then you'll have heart palpitations for no reason. As for now, radio.
Okey, selamat malam. Assalamualaikum. Berjumpa lagi kita dalam Pemain Ke-12 bersama saya, Safi Sali, Abang Rashid Saleh dan Roshan Narayan. Kita akan dengarkan dalam Sinar dan Mix.my. Dan minggu ini kita ada tetamu undangan yang sangat-sangat special. Okey, Abang Rashid.
yes,
Abang Rashid perkenalkan. Kita punya tetamu
we have
kita.
kita ada Gavin, Ketua Pegawai Pemasaran Football Focus Asia, dan juga Matthew Holland, bekas Jurulatih Teknikal NFDP yang bersama kita di Pemain Ke-12. So we have these two lovely guests with us. Last week we have a Scottish guy, so now we have Ireland, England and Wales. So, so the whole of United Kingdom is here.
Yeah, so for all the embassies here from the United Kingdom, if you want to sponsor the show, please, by all means, we can help with tourism, we can help with education. Just support Pemain Ke-12.
Ya, Pemain Ke-12 mendunia sekarang ni.
Yeah, because if you want to know
Just
about
one
education-
embassy, unfortunately.
one embassy, that's
One
right.
embassy, yeah.
No, but we can work with several embassies. Don't worry, we are agnostic, I believe so.
Fair enough.
That's what they all say.
Yes,
Oh,
correct.
so we are going to be talking about obviously football. So more about development and modern football and all that, because we're not going to talk about the past because it's something that's really sensitive. But we'll talk about it one day, off camera. So firstly, Gavin, just tell us a little bit about Football Focus Asia and how it came about. And all
Yeah,
that.
sure. Yeah, so Football Focus Asia is basically one of the largest sports activation companies in Southeast Asia. So we are, in all the markets around the region. We're doing things like ambassadorships. We do online, on-ground events, sponsorships, and we also run leagues as well. So we're now involved with the Malaysian Youth League in Malaysia, which we've got 450 teams participating all over the country, which is fantastic. So, yeah, we're very involved with grassroots and trying to develop talent in the country. We also build academies as well.
Brilliant.
So, planning eventually to build a big academy in Malaysia.
Ooh.
Inshallah.
Okay, we'll talk about that, Matthew. So Matthew, well, you're from Wales.
Yes.
So tell us about how you got about into not just football but also Malaysian football as well.
Well, I spent 5 years at Cardiff City. Started in schools work and community work through the elite academy side, and then I came into Malaysia as part of that project, which was titled 1MCC at the time, and at the time Cardiff chairman, Dr.
Yes.
Chan.
Yes.
And at the time Eugene Tan was also Tan Sri Vincent's son. He was also involved in it. They ran a league at the time.
Yes.
We started to build an academy and different projects and community outreach stuff. So that's how I originally came to Malaysia, where Abang Safi on my right, where he then went to train at the club. So obviously he was a superstar at the time and still is until today. And for that reason, Safi went, Shafiq also went. We were looking at trying to send players on a regular basis.
Right.
I left after a year, and then I went on my journey. I went to the Thai League and coached first team level. Moved around a little bit, Australia, America, India, few more along the way.
A
So,
journeyman, as they say.
So
yes,
the
couple of
journey
passports.
came about because of Malaysia.
Yes,
From
good
there,
toll.
or else you would have been still stuck in Cardiff. You reckon?
Yes, I actually escaped the valleys for my sins, and then I had to escape Cardiff. So, yeah, I'm quite happy where I am now.
Gavin, I mean, the beauty of the show is it's live on TikTok and live on radio.
Yeah.
So we got about less than 2 minutes on radio, but we can still
On radio in the
continue
first
talking.
segment. Yeah.
So, I mean, the question is for you. you've been here and you mentioned you got about 400 to 500 teams under your current league, right?
Yeah.
What's the age group?
So we're all the way from 8 years old all the way up to 18.
Okay.
So yeah, pretty wide spectrum, and just trying to develop that in every
At 80, never 18. Alright.
18.
So, up until 18.
18, not 80.
Yeah,
Yeah,
no, I was
Yeah.
like 80. No, I'm the
I'm
old
still
one here,
trying
I'm
to
like-
play. Yeah, that's about the top of of the spectrum. Yeah, but no, it's something I'm passionate about. I've got 4 kids, four Malaysian kids. So 2 of them love football. The other 2 are still young. So hopefully get them into it. But yeah, it's something that when you're and you'll obviously know when you're coaching kids and you see that fire going off in them, that they've got that passion to really want to do it. It's something that should be nurtured and something good.
I mean, that's such a true statement, right? For Malaysians, we were talking about this with Stuart, who was our guest last week, who is the technical director for Damansara, and he mentioned there's so much passion here. He grew up in Scotland. You've grown up in Wales. You've grown up in England as well. I mean, there's passion here, and you can never take that away from kids. So it's our job, and the people behind the scenes in football, any association, to bring forth and give these kids an opportunity. Do you see that happening in Malaysia, apart from maybe a few people here and there? Be honest, don't worry, don't be scared.
I mean, look, it's about preparing a production line, isn't it? Light at the end of the tunnel to help these kids get to where they want to go. I mean, I'm a big believer that everyone is born equal in this world, and if you believe that, then it's the structure, if it's put in place correctly.
Yeah. We'll just
It
be
can
back on
achieve.
radio, so I'm not cutting you
Yeah.
off. We'll be back on radio very soon. We'll be live on TikTok right now. Okay, you okay? Saying?
Yep.
Yeah, so I mean, there's 35 million people here. There's 3 million people in Wales,
Yeah.
but they're outperforming Malaysia by a long way. So why is that? And I think, it just needs people to really have a good look and think, why that is and how it can be fixed, whether it's money or what it is, the support that people need.
I think also I've worked in 5 or 6 of the countries now, and usually through the ladder. Buriram United, best club in the region because I worked for them. But they
Slightly biased.
Give him a job back. Give him a job
Little
back.
bit of bias.
Yeah.
So I've been there. I've also been here, part of the NFDP, and I was just watching Lukman's playing behind the screen there now. He was with us and has done very well. There's no doubt about passion here. There's no doubt about
Lokman score, I think.
just now.
Yeah.
Great.
Yeah.
Brilliant. I must have rubbed off on him on Wednesday when I seen him.
It's Negeri Sembilan versus Immigration.
Immigration, yeah.
The
Thank God. Oh no, thank God's playing for.
Thank God he's playing for the other team. But
the
you
other
were
team.
saying...
Yeah, so I think there's a lot of talent in the region, a lot of passion. It comes down to opportunity also to train and play, which obviously Gavin and his company are doing and running, which is great. That wasn't the case when we first arrived. The 1MCC league was taking place, but went around and saw a lot of things that needed vast improvement. But
Such as?
coaching structure, coaching quality also, that's definitely got better. I was just speaking to someone at AMD, I was up there on Thursday. I actually watched Negri train on Wednesday and not in any way that I'm looking down on any coaches, but the training session I watched at Negri was brilliant. Modern day exercises, intensity, and I really enjoyed it. I didn't feel that way when I first came 10, 12 years ago.
A lot of
So the development, I think.
Apa yang saya translate untuk semua pendengar untuk yang join kita punya TikTok live ni, apa yang Coach Matt cakap dan Gavin cakap adalah kita memang ada ramai talent. Kita ada 35 juta dalam Malaysia ni. So activation dan minat tu tak boleh dinafikan. Memang ramai grassroots, player grassroots dekat Malaysia ni. So ada coaching part yang perlu dibaiki dan daripada structure
dinaikkan tu. Tapi apa yang dia cakap juga dari bila dia sampai dulu you came to 2010 2011 sampai sekarang, dia dah nampak banyak improvement dari dulu, dari segi latihan. Betul. Dan program latihan untuk setiap klub dan seterusnya juga. So yang penting kita adalah peningkatan. Peningkatan dari situ. So kita nak ke radio juga lepas ni. Pening lah, banyak lah pening lah.
Pening lah.
Hey, who's resetting by the way? Rashid?
Oh, do I have to reset?
Yes.
I have
Reset.
to speak again. 4 sorry. 2 One. Selamat kembali ke Pemain Ke-12 bersama saya Rashid Saleh, Safi Salih dan juga Roshan Narayan di Radio Mix dan juga Sina FM. Kepada semua penonton dan juga pendengar radio, kami ada dua tetamu, Gavin dan juga Matthew, yang kita tengah berbincang tentang bola sepak, of course, dan perkembangan bola sepak di Malaysia. Dan so Gavin, the one thing that you've probably noticed, I mean, the one thing we always touch on is talent.
Yes.
You know, there's always this argument whether we have talent or not and how it's developed.
Yeah.
And you obviously, you know, you're very much on the ground on that. How has that, you know, because these are the feeders to professional football.
Yeah, exactly.
In Malaysia and ultimately in Asia.
And I think, you know, when you look in Malaysia, I think you also need to look at other sports as well. And you see, how do Malaysian champions, how have they got to the top? Have they done it here, or have they gone overseas to get the expertise they need? You look
Like
at
Nicole David.
people like Nicole David, exactly. And, you know, I remember this was a long time ago. I'm getting old now. I remember we took
good company,
Faisal Halim to Tottenham when he was 12. And he was training, you know, the Tottenham coaches all came over. He was better than all the Tottenham kids. He was in the actual academy there with them. And he was dribbling around them. He was unbelievable. And they were saying, look, if Malaysia was in the higher ranking, I'd have this kid straight away. I'd often say to myself, you know,
Correct.
I as I said before, I believe everyone's born equal. If you want to be the best lawyer, you've got to go to the best legal school. If you want to be the best doctor, you've got to go to the best medical school. And it's the same for football. You can't just get there on talent alone. You need to have the training. You know, and obviously good to see if Safi had been picked up and brought up in another country, does he feel he would have
Come back here.
reached higher heights?
So the question
you know what I
would
mean.
have been like, if they were already in the academy, they would be able to have a better chance, do you think? But it's still depending on the country, because there's this confusion.
I mean,
Whether you are, if you're from a different country but you're in the academy, are you still allowed to represent them if you go through the academy?
The rules of obviously playing when you go overseas are very difficult and different. You know, so, you know, my son, for example, he's 7. He owns a dual passport, so he has a British passport and a Thai passport. Ultimately, he'll have to choose at some point. Thailand, that happens a lot. Now there's a lot of players where they were playing in Sweden, growing up in Sweden. They do that, and then they come back to Thailand to have some form of career.
Not like Malaysian international players. Anyway, moving
on to the next segment. There we go. Next topic. But yeah, that happens a lot. At Buriram, they sent Supernat Bank. That's his Thai nickname. He was with me in the academy, and his brother Super Chok. That's Czech. They have another brother called Dollar, so good parent in there. Czech Bank and Dollar, all playing well. So these boys went over to train at Leicester and in England and stuff, and did really well and come back. But it's very difficult for some countries, just based on the relations of the country in terms of passports and visas.
Gavin, I mean, you've done some work not only in Malaysia, but also in Vietnam. So if I ask you, since you've had experience both here in Malaysia and Vietnam, right? The Vietnamese football development project versus AMD, how different is it, and which one is better for you?
Well, I mean, look, I think that there's a lot of projects that go off, and a lot of projects start as vanity projects by someone who wants to develop, you know, football with a good heart. But there's always not enough maybe planning of how this is going to sustain itself in the long run.
Absolutely.
So, you know, when we developed the PVF Academy in Hanoi, it was very much with a commercial hat on. So it was designed to bring in teams from Korea, Australia, Middle East to come in and pay money and sustain the academy, so they've got the funds to actually go and use it to keep the pitches tip top, to, you know, to get the best coaches, and also to give the kids a good game. They, you know, kids don't want to be in their own bubble. They want to be playing against the best. They want to play against African teams. They want to play against Koreans, Japanese. And I remember this, you know, I think I was chatting with Robbie Fowler, was coaching in Saudi, and he said to me, right, I want to bring them to Malaysia, all my kids. A great place to come, halal food, easy. I called up AMD. They want to come. They're willing to kind of pay 50,000-60,000 US dollars. Oh, tak boleh lah. And that's
Funding.
that's what happened. They don't want it. No, they would have paid, you know. So, but they didn't want it, which is surprising for me, you know.
Okay, Safi, bagi Safi kan dah dari muda sampai sekarang. Tapi adakah Safi tengok perkembangan pemain bola sepak muda ni, diorang ada peluang sekarang, especially zaman sekarang, untuk pergi keluar. Tapi kenapa ada ramai yang masih tak nak pergi? Jangan kata alasan pemakanan ke, pemakan ni. Why? Kenapa dia orang tak nak pergi? Kita akan jawab ni selepas we're going to take a break now from Mix FM and also Sina. We'll be back after this.
Okey, apa nak menjawab pada soalan Abang Rashid? Saya rasa dari segi pendedahan dan mentaliti, culture orang Malaysia, dia tak nak tinggalkan negara ni sebab rasa terlampau selesa. They don't want to push themselves to go outside. So the culture is not there.
But man, you'd understand this. I mean, not just go outside, but financially as well. MFL pay very well for the region, and at times they do get paid better than some of the players in the Japanese and the Korean league. Correct me if I'm wrong.
Yeah, I mean over the years, and of course we could throw many stories here, and I've been involved in different situations at not always in different clubs, but friends coaching in clubs. Transfer window comes, the list comes out. I think Saf and I spoke about it previously. You know, you got category A, category B, category C players from specific, agents that says this one is worth X, Y, and Z. And respectfully, you're looking at going, well, and again, I make easy names. So Safi and Shafiq Rahim at the time, you'd say, well, yeah, of course they're going to get that. They are there in the national team. But there are players that probably from the national team squad that are ranked selection purposes, maybe 25 to 35 to 50. The second batch getting a lot of money also, probably not quite where they should be getting paid considering where they are, and where the structure is that we just spoke about, and sustainability and making sure there's a long-term plan. So I think that's very difficult also, that people don't want to try and challenge themselves to go there. But it's also hard, when you go into Europe, it's a completely different aspect of challenging. Safi went through. You went in a cold month, right?
Yeah.
December.
How was it, Safi, for you? How was it?
Freezing.
freezing, and then.
But the training and all, how was it for you?
Training, latihan semua is same, but the punya intensity is very it's lain.
Shafiq sakit, right?
Yeah.
He was sick.
Oh
When
dear.
Shafiq went there, he was sick, right?
2 minggu dekat sana, I enjoy. Dia punya intensity, dia punya pressure, dia punya professionalism tu, I'm impressed. Dia punya.
Because see, Safi is one of those literally handful, who didn't make a name for himself here in Malaysia. He went to Indonesia. He's gone to these different places, and that's one thing I don't hear anymore. Kids who want to go abroad and play. You see, maybe from the urban market, the English-speaking market. Oh, I want to go to maybe an international school, then head off somewhere else. But I don't see that drive from the other communities, which is supremely important. Because, and forgive me to all the international school students, the real talent is from the outskirts.
Yep.
Forgive me if I'm wrong.
No, you're absolutely right. The real talent is from the kampongs, and they don't have the money to go and pay to play. These people need to be scouted, need to be seen in the schools where they are, which means that the development needs to start with school teachers, training school teachers, feeding them into the national system. And you'll know better than I about
I
that.
mean, we saw that. I think one of the challenges we saw, at my time at NFDP, I worked very closely with Tiong Kim, as one of 5 sort of lieutenants, if you call us, 4 locals and me. The one Matsali, shall we say. But I managed the south zone, so I had Negris, Milan, Malacca and Johor. And one of the issues that we found, especially in Malacca at the time, was that when we went to the Academy Tunas, the training centres, the Padang, I mean, if we go back many decades, Pele and everyone didn't have a perfect pitch, but actually the padangs in the schools were terrible. So I was lucky that in Malacca specifically, KBS at the time had built, I think, 15 pitches across the country. 2 were in Malacca. So I pushed a little bit internally in a different way through Tion Kim and KJ to get the KBS pitches to put the academy tuners there. That was just in mind. It was very difficult for the other guys in the States to get access. We did, but that's back to a problem. They are in the boys are in the kampongs because they don't have a PlayStation. They don't have, let's talk about now, iPads, etc. You know, they are out after school playing between 2 trees or like, I mean, I'm not so old, 37. I used to play on the street at home in Wales. That's gone now from society. It's definitely gone in big cities. But in other states and in the kampongs, you can get that. So, but again, the quality of the pitch does help a little bit, especially across the masses. The gem will always come through, whatever he plays on.
Yes.
But across, you know, when you need 6, 7, 8 of them in different areas to come through and make a better selection, they need to have a bit, and that wasn't there 10 years ago.
Gavin, your league, right? Okay, 15 seconds, but I think I'll ask the question when we go on live. I don't want to repeat myself because it's a bit boring. And if you're watching us live on TikTok, we're going back on radio.
Yeah.
And when I say I can remember the question, as soon as we go live, I'll forget the question. You watch it. I've already forgotten it. I've just forgotten the question. We're back live on radio.
Well, welcome back to Pemain Ke-12. Roshan actually forgot what the question he was going to ask.
I remember the question now.
Selamat kembali kepada penyokong dan pendengar di Sina dan juga Mix FM bersama saya Safi dan juga Roshan dan 2 tetamu khas untuk malam ini, Gavin dan juga Matthew.
I got my question.
Yes, you remember your question now?
Yes. So,
and who is it for?
It's for Gavin. But Matt, you were talking about how the infrastructure is here and how players should come up the ranks. Gavin, you actually have an active league. Safi has an academy as well. So when you see these players coming up, you know you have about 400 or 500 schools or academies, whatever you want to coin it, from the ages of 8 to 18. How do these young kids fit into the national setup from that age group? Is there anything they can feed into, or is it like, actually, we don't have anything?
I mean, you look, at the end of the day, you can't do everything. You know, you could only do what you do. I mean, look, we have 450 teams. Each team has their own coach,
That's
and they
insane.
do their coaching on Saturdays, Sundays. Then they go and play on one of those days. And, you know, it's really, I guess, down to the state and the clubs to come and scout these kids. But then the question is, if it's the clubs, do they have, is the system at the moment, is it sustainable? Paying these big wages to players, does that mean they cannot now have an under-10s, under-12s, under-14s at the club? They're just relying on plucking kids in later on in life. And I think there's that gap that you don't have in Europe, where between kind of 13, 14 and 18, there's a bit of a gap where the Europeans are going like that and Malaysia's, it's a bit of a
I
divide.
think also just on that, it's just come to me now because my lad's with me. He's not here, but he's in care with me now, and he's 7. I mean, Gav were talking before we came on.
Just left him alone in the hotel or what?
No, he's with my wife.
He's running around after
He's with my
us.
wife, yeah. He's actually...
Papa's not around.
we're actually staying with Kevin Cooper, the coach of Arm.
Oh, wow.
Very good man.
So
I like
we're still very
Kevin.
close. Yeah, good guy. So they are at his house. We just went for dinner. Anyway, back to football. What I find here, and I can't speak for every state, but football here in youth development is very much a weekend thing, whereby in other countries, specifically Thailand, so Denny's 7, just turned, and he trains, bear with me, all the sports scientists and burnout and everything else, he trains 6 days a week. At 6. He was doing it at 6, a little bit at 5. Yeah, he has school once a week. He trains with the Villarreal Academy. They have a branch here. The guys are great in Bangkok. He's got a scholarship with them for 3 days. He trains with another academy because the coach is a really nice guy. He's very good with him. And then on a Friday, he gets his day off.
All right.
And a Sunday, unless he wants to do bits with me. But that's very, very difficult. We won't go into that. So I just let him kick balls around. But in Thailand, he's not the only one like that. One of the lads he trains with, who's 10, as an example, his dad showed me the schedule. That's wild. Like, he's training twice a day across the week.
Wow.
He's training school. because they are so determined, and he loves the game to be able to play. So that I think that's a big difference between the two countries. Is lots of kids there are playing at least or training all the time, whether they are in the city or whether they are in other cities away from Bangkok or in the provinces. They're playing a lot compared to here.
So that actually, because you're getting different inputs of knowledge from different coaches as well. But the number one thing is, okay, so this is fantastic. My question is, like, if I put my kids into the system, how do they get into the club teams here, Safi? I mean, do you know? I mean, do they have under 8s? Do they have under 14s?
Untuk club saya rasa tak ada. Tak ada spesifik untuk their own club, under 8, under 10. Semua adalah akademi swasta yang ada kena mengena dengan club. That's why there's a problem in
Malaysia.
bayar
membership.
Professional club don't have, right?
Do these clubs here, I mean, in Malaysia, and there's no need club, only country I can speak about right now, do they understand the value of putting money into this youth development, or they think it's a waste of money because these kids might not turn out to be successful?
Ideally, each club should have a youth system, right?
Yeah.
So we have that in rugby here. So for example, the club I'm with or been with, Cobra, we have a junior development, and it goes from 4 until they play the weekends, but they're feeders to the senior teams.
Okay.
But we don't have money, but they pay membership each month to play. We have 400 kids.
Wow.
Boys and girls.
Yeah.
And we're going to start we're going to start a women's team soon. Girls team, but there is a pathway. So you know that once you played up 18, you can actually go and join the senior team. We have 2 senior teams, the second team and the first team, and that's so simple. And I was wondering why football doesn't do that here.
So that was the question. Do these clubs see these kids as someone they can pump money into, or is it a waste of money for them?
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know.
Before you answer that, because we're only about 19 seconds left, we're going to from the radio. We're going to take a quick break before our last segment. But this is, we can talk until the cows go home anyway. But we're going to take a break here on Sina dan juga the mix on Pemain Ke-12, and we'll be back for the last segment. We'll probably be talking about the same thing. See you in a bit.
Over to you, Gavin.
Yeah,
over
to you,
from
Gavin.
your experience, and I don't want to get either one of you all in trouble, because at the end of the day, if you do get an opportunity here, you want to come back, right?
Yeah.
But for me, I would like to ask the owners of the clubs or the management of Slang or whichever, do they? JDT is now going through a lot of their own junior programs, right?
Yeah. They are. We don't need to talk about them.
They
do
talk about JDT.
They do what they do. And very well.
So the other clubs is my question, right? Do they see kids being developed under their brand as an asset or as a liability? Just from your experience, either one of you.
I think one of the challenges that they face is that a lot of the teams, and of course they need support from state government because of funding. We are moving towards a privatization platform, or the last. And I say we because I follow football here, and
fantastic.
I have
we
a lot
need
of.
that more.
I have a lot of love for the country. It was the first country I came to work in, and lots of friends as we sit here also, and outside of obviously the show. But I think because some of the cycles of management being in position are shorter than the duration of a player to come through the system, I think that's challenging because of success, because of people have their own KPIs and targets. I mean, it's natural. Not everybody, whether you're in football, other sports, business, we all do a job for a certain period of time. You can have passion for so much, but not everybody in every industry, every individual will say, well, I really care about what happens in 10, 15 years. Because the facts of life are I think people generally aren't. I've got my targets. I want to make sure things are right in case I maybe extend it a couple of years, and I do have some passion and love for the club, but a kid at 6, 7, it's a long way away for people. So I think our focus is a big challenge in support of them also.
So Safi, bila you bukakan akademi, apakah sebenarnya kita fahamlah you nak bangunkan pemain grassroots, tapi apakah challenge atau yang bila dah buka akademi macam ni, especially dari segi dana, dari segi sokongan,
Cabaran dan challenge tu memang banyak lah. Ini through my experience, pengalaman saya academy. I'm doing my own funding. Tak ada.
God bless you.
Tak ada dana daripada apa-apa. I think he's behind also. We discuss together also. Benda ni saya buat sendiri. Cabaran kena pindah padang sana, padang sini. Bila saya start mula-mula, okay, kita buat collaboration. Contoh, tak payah bayar apa-apa. And then bila saya dah start, bila dah ramai orang dah tengok, and then I have to charge. I kena charge dengan jumlah yang banyak. So it cost the operation, the management so lot of money. So that's why I keep terpaksa pindah. It's just cabaran for me also.
Sebab you kena apa tu, asingkan the business of the football and also running the academy as well. Those are two different things, right? I mean, there's something that you understand more in terms of you at the end of the day, it's still a business.
It's a business, and it's commercial business.
Yes.
And if you develop this talent like you would in England, the majority of them would come through, hopefully, into the team. In Malaysia, do they get pinched? Do you get rewarded for developing talent here as you would in the UK? You wouldn't. So if you're going to develop talent and then someone's going to take them away, then well, that removes the incentive to develop them, right? But actually it should be like rugby. It should be a grassroots, you start from the bottom, you go up, and the senior team is the pinnacle, and that plays in the league, and then you develop that through that way. But I think it's round the wrong way a little bit here, so people just focus on the first team and everything else. Do you do youth development? Yeah, I've got President's Cup team lah. That's it. And they play once a month. That's not good enough.
I agree with Gavin. Kalau management sekarang dalam persatuan, dalam klub, kalau tanya grassroots, beli semua cakap presiden under 19. It's not there. Bukan situ saja.
So tu yang I rasa pelik. I don't understand why we have so many academies. In fact, you guys can actually help run those state academies or the state teams or the club teams academies and move up the same way, because
the money is
you
going
already
to
have the
him, not
expert.
to the person saying yes.
No, but no, this is where you can discuss the business collaboration in terms of who gets what, right? But
okay, let's be honest. We're going back on radio, right?
Yeah.
Okay, wait.
Because
I know
I tak faham lah sebab yang tu, it's like it makes me, because we waste so much money and talent.
Listen,
okay, kembali lagi kita dalam Pemain Ke-12 bersama saya Safi Salih, Rashid Saleh dan Roshan Narayan dalam Sina dan Mix.my.
Segmen terakhir kan?
Segmen terakhir, talk set terakhir.
For radio lah.
Minta maaf kepada pendengar-pendengar Sina kalau tak faham, saya akan buat subtitle.
Subtitle lepas ni kita buat
sebab
subtitle.
kita ada
tapi sebelum tu jangan lupa 12.30 Arsenal lawan Manchester United.
Okay, sebab kita ada tetamu undangan yang sangat-sangat special hari ini daripada Wales dan daripada Ireland.
England also
juga UK, Wakanda, Russian,
Sarawak.
Sarawak. Okay,
Greenland.
Okay, gentlemen, we were talking about why is this grassroots project for Malaysia so hard to build, sustain. But the question is, we have all had shared different experiences. Safi's played for the country. Rashid and I have been in the media. We have covered it. Gavin, you have got these academies. Matt, you have coached here and in the region as well. If we all have been giving people in charge the answer, why isn't anything being done? Like, are they scared of being held responsible if it doesn't work out? I mean, you spoke about the 10 years, the chop and change politics, right? So does anybody care for these kids, or they just want a little badge and picture in the front of the newspaper to say, this is my project, this is what I started? Over to you, Matt.
I would say that people care, probably because there are people of age, respectful age, 40s, 50s, 60s in the roles in management. They've probably had children themselves. They probably say the same things that we do, even though they're in a senior chair now. They probably got grandkids, some of them, that are also going through that journey. I think what I feel is there can be, if you had to put a percentage on the negativity around Malaysian football since I've been in and around it, the percentages are very high of lack of support. Okay lah, tak apalah, Malaysia tak boleh. We all know Malaysia boleh, but in football, a lot of the things are negative towards people trying to do things well or not. even, you know, what is being done down south, this is incredible. This is world standard,
Yeah.
Yeah, I agree.
elite standard.
Yep.
Generally, the man on the street will commend it, but generally a lot of people will
Whack it.
will whack also.
Yeah.
And I don't understand this personally, and I'm not, you know, preaching for them in any way. I'm just saying that, you know, JDT do immense things on a real standard, and I've luckily been in around it to see that journey, and they keep growing. Arif Ayman is there, so I've got a vested interest to look at him. And what you mentioned about Faisal going to Spurs, we also took the boys where Arif was in there. Lukman destroyed them. Chelsea also, Fulham, unbelievable talent. So there's just challenges here, because I think there are so many different entities involved. It's really challenging.
And I'll add another story. Peter Barnes, who used to play for Manchester City, his sister is here, right? So his family took a bunch of kids from here to Manchester City, and even the coaches said, "Where are these boys? I mean, where are they from?"
Yeah.
Because they were running circles around the local boys
Yeah.
in England. So, okay, if they cannot take the kids from here over to the academy due to our positioning on the, you know, the world ranking system or whatever it is there any way we can go around that, Gavin?
Yeah, I mean, you know, taking kids, you know, we've taken loads of kids, you know, Safi, MBSB last year, we took a load of kids to Wolves. We've worked with Southampton, lots of clubs. But if it's for a month, it's not really that. It's just a gimmick. It's just a gimmick. You know, you really these kids need training all year round. So, you know, what we want to do, you know, is to build more academies, quality academies, like Matt says, in Malaysia. You know, we need not just one, you know, in Johor or two, you know, 3, 4, 5. You look in England and see how many quality academies are there.
Yeah.
There are hundreds.
Yeah.
And that's what you need if you really want to get that, you know, you're looking at a pyramid and you're looking at getting the, you know, the players up to the top of the pyramid. You've got to have more quality academies, because you need a bigger pool of players, because the best player at 12 is not the best player at 15, and the best player at 15 is not the best player at 18, because there's so many other factors come into play. So you really need that massive pool of academies, and that's where sustainability comes in. Can we make them worthwhile? Can they actually sustain themselves? Can they be profitable? Because if they're not profitable, you've always got your hand out hoping that someone in a state government gives you money, but when they move on, then
changes.
it falls
Funding
down.
goes.
Your funding goes, right?
Parents' education is one also. We talk about academies, players, coaches. Parents' education
Yeah, that's important.
is a
as well.
massive puzzle piece
The
that I
support,
think is
yeah.
missing.
Yeah.
It's
Yep, I'm
not
agree.
there.
How so?
Yeah.
What do you mean by that?
I'm
Just
agree.
understand.
You know, for
saya
that,
pengalaman tu,
yeah.
sebab parents dia tak boleh involve coaching punya method, dia punya selection of the coaching.
I
Dekat
agree.
Dekat sini grassroots parents sponsors, and then nakkan anak dia main dalam first
Yes.
11. So
So
this kind of
we have that.
mentality dalam Malaysia is
I've seen some parents act like absolute children in front of their children.
Well, you know,
Yeah.
before we do that, we're gonna have to say thank you to all our listeners on
so
Mix
faster.
and also Sina. Terima kasih bersama kami di Pemain Ke-12. Kita akan bersama anda pada masa yang
Minggu
sama
hadapan.
dan hari yang sama, Sunday 10 o'clock di TikTok Live. Thank you very much. We'll see you again next week. Bye bye. Okay, great.
You were saying?
ya betul. Parent education sangat-sangat important. Dalam
So this is what thing I've noticed, and as being a parent of, you know, I'm a rugby parent watching my kids play football.
Painful,
Very painful. But I come from a sports family where we take a step back with our children. All my brothers and sisters' kids. We let the coach do the coaching. We take a step back and we don't say anything. We just make sure he turns up or she turns up, and then because
On
it's
time
really
also
important. Yes,
is a
it's really
problem,
important
yeah.
that they get that done, because for us we've played you know, a certain level as well, and we understand what has to be done. My parents did the same thing with us as well, left us alone to do our thing. So when I see these parents, because they're like, oh, we pay the money that we should have a say, you know, again, you know, getting support from parents one thing, betul lah. There are parents who sponsor and feel that they have the right to have their kid playing for the team. irrespective, and we've seen that. I mean,
So I come
Yeah.
from a long line of teachers, and my
Mhm.
my late grandmother, my mom, my aunts have told me everything. It's not education, but sports. Education starts at home.
Yeah.
Just because you send them to school, you don't expect them to be, the teacher has to do everything.
Yeah,
The
yeah.
kids have to come back, and I trust me, I'm an active parent.
Mm.
I have to sit down with my daughters. I do the maths with them. I do the English and they do the science. In fact, my late grandmother will be turning in her wherever she is right now, knowing that I'm trying to do maths with my kids. So even with football or whatever it is, my nephews went for coaching.
Mm.
My cousin left them alone. The coach did what they wanted to do. I would have a good laugh once in a while,
Yeah.
seeing them play. But I think we need to understand one thing. Not everybody's going to be a Pele, a Messi, or Cristiano.
Yeah.
If you're sending your kid for 1 day a week or 2 days a week, like how you mentioned,
Yeah.
your kid's doing about 6 days a week.
Yeah.
So that's an active parent. Whether they're going to be successful is a different story altogether. That's the reality.
I
right?
find it very hard. I'm not, I wouldn't be shy in saying this. Obviously, I coach at professional level, meaning club or national team at men's level, but also within a professional club or national FA, for example, but at youth level. And I think me using my son as an example now
Yep.
is the hardest coaching job I have,
Fair.
because he's your son, and
Yes.
when he's half decent and he can do things, you have a natural feeling. It's quite simple. Go on, son. Go and do it.
yeah,
go
but
and do
no,
something.
but
do it
the
right.
thing with
You
you
wanna
is you're
help
a
him
qualified
push him along.
coach.
Yeah.
So whether you talk to the coaches now that there's a certain respect that you
Yeah.
have parents who have not had any qualifications,
Mm.
and
They played
I've
FIFA.
seen them
Yeah.
berating other kids,
Yeah, that's.
and that
Oh, really?
yes, berating other kids from the other team. And I've used
I see that a lot in Singaporean rugby.
Yeah, but no, it's all
Yeah.
it goes across both sports.
Oh yeah.
But
absolutely.
anything that has sports and parents there, it's like, and we're like, it really puts. I don't know. I mean, whether the parents off or
I think also most of the time, and again, it's not about me and my family, but just things. I was always warned by good friends of mine, take your time with him as he's 2, 3, 4 years old. But I obviously made my own decisions as a parent, and I never forced him to play or love the game. But I made sure I put things in his way.
yes.
There's always football on. Most of the people I speak to, 9 times out of 10, are football people or friends and video calls, and so he thinks all these guys are his friends also. He doesn't wear pajamas to bed anymore. He wears football kits because that's his choice.
Yeah.
With
and
the
he
boots
likes
or
boots. Usually he sleeps with the ball, and I'm not.
Yeah.
Yeah,
These
yeah,
are
yeah.
things that happen. Sometimes he sleeps
Yeah.
with his Lego and everything else. But this, from a parent's education point of view, I don't think they need to force him, because they might think if he plays, especially in this country with some of the salaries at times, when gaji masuk, some gaji tak masuk, but for that reason, they might see him being able to provide for the family down the line.
Yeah.
It's normal. That can happen. It can
Mm.
happen in other sports or disciplines also. But I think from an education perspective, to just understand how they can support their kid, because the kid will feel pressured. That definitely happens. You get in the car, we don't see what happens. I know how I speak to Danny and the questions I ask him,
Yeah.
but we don't see everybody's situation, and we also
Yes.
don't know what goes on in everybody's 4 walls of their
Yeah.
home. Some will have 8 to 10 walls. It depends where they are, where they are in life. But my point
Yeah.
is that education, we always think it's about. We talked about makan and nutrition.
Yeah.
It's not really about that. It's about the level of support they have through the week.
Yeah.
Because
Yeah.
school's important, and I see, and you've probably seen it with your own children. Sometimes your kids come home from school, and they look wrecked from school,
Yeah.
like really worn out, knackered, like they don't want to do anything. But then they've got to go on to the next one, and they've got after
Yeah.
school class, and they've got different stuff. So the education point, I think, is about how to support and channel.
And I think it's about when they're that young. It's about they've got to love it. Every professional footballer started off loving it. They just loved football, and that love and that passion lights a fire, and then they train more, and they're scoring goals or doing better in their school, and that gives them, it feeds that kind of fire to get to the top. And I think that's sometimes some coaches at a very low level can overcoach kids to do these certain things when actually they need to have fun first.
Yeah.
Yeah.
and really develop a passion for it. Because without the passion, they'll drift away from football.
Yeah.
Something came out last week, I think, about the percentage now of kids dropping out. I was speaking to a friend of mine, Hasni Al-Joffrey. He's English, Manchester boy, but he has Singaporean roots. He was the head of coach education for Singapore FA the last 18 months.
Right.
I was with him, and his son is at Manchester United, and he was telling me about the dropout now is even higher.
A dropout from
18 years of age. So boys who get a pro contract in England at that level, at those those brands and those clubs, the dropout rate is much higher than even a few years ago.
Wow.
So that's in a structured system. You can imagine here where things are constantly growing, or in many ways, but also changing. And there's different directions a lot, how hard it is for some of those kids that they get to a certain age. And don't forget that peer pressure or parent pressure changes also. When, okay, I'm Malaysian football, now you have to go back, now you have to study, you have to get a secure job, and the dreams get ripped away. And that's also difficult.
You mentioned dreams that get ripped away, and we've been talking about that steady from zero to all the way to the highest level, right? The national team.
Yeah.
And it's the worst kept secret ever. I mean, the case is still going on, right? The Magnificent Seven, it's still going on. The results will be out in February or whatever it is, and God bless, it's the best for our country and our footballing system. But now you see all these kids who want to be the next Safi Salih, who want to be the next Shafiq Rahim, but now they go up there and they're like, I can't get into the team, because you've got somebody who's physically bigger, who's maybe maturity-wise in terms of how to deal with pressure situations in a game of football is at a higher level because of the exposure they've gotten. So is there a way where we can find a solution where all these kids from your academies, from Safi's academies, any Malaysian kid can go all the way to the top, where we don't need all these import players or whatever you want to call them right now? Is there a way we can solve this within the next 6 to 8 years, to be realistic, from experience?
Yes. And again, I think it comes down to those pillars. I think that the coach education, and I'm not talking about people with a pro license and all of that, because that's just normal. That's a projection you go through, similar to the pro license is the PhD really of football coaching, and I'm not sure what is in rugby, but I'm sure they have something similar. I think that has to come all the way down, that people, while the kids need passion, as Gav said, and the love for it, the people working with the kids at grassroots level also have to really love it. And again, I'm not pitching Saf's Academy, but then he went to train last night, and I had so much fun, and I don't always have that much fun when I'm watching him, because I want him to do everything. But I could just see that he also enjoyed it. Now, maybe not every coach is doing that because they need to do it for an extra buck, and it's a part-time job.
Yep.
But it can happen. It doesn't always have to be perfect. Football's never perfect. I mean, even if, Saf, your journey, I'm sure you didn't have a lot of analysis through your, gym, everything else, but you played so much. So generational football is also very, very different. But that's one of the things I first said when I went into NFDP.
Yeah.
And because I knew him, and I knew I could pick the phone up, I sort of put my hand on the table with the guys and said, show me his reports. Where's Safi and where's Shafiq Rahim's reports from school, from his academy? Don't have. And that's when we implemented it. That was the point to go, right, how can you start it? So they do have a lot more maybe now than when you guys did.
Data.
But the society was a bit different maybe, and life goes on, doesn't it? Life changes. We're in a new realm again now in modern day.
And I think all these feeder academies as well, there are so many academies around the country, teams, and they are fueled by passion. They've got coaches. Some of them don't have any training. They just love the sport and they train the kids. But sometimes when you see what they're coaching week in, week out, you see the gaps that are emerging. So I will see my kids training, and they've been to many academies. Is there a lesson plan? Is there a structure to what you're doing? None of my kids have ever learned to head the ball. None of my kids have ever had a session on throw-ins. None of my kids have ever learned how to defend properly. It's always pass, have a shot. And I think sometimes you're learning the wrong things for the youth. I'm not talking about once you get to a proper academy here, yes, you've got everything there, but you need a certain level of kid arriving at that academy. They can't arrive without the skills that they need.
Yeah.
You know, so I think it starts a lot younger than you know. And you look at England now; it starts so young.
This is like, I think City got under 5s.
Yeah.
Man City got under 5s. Then he went to Leicester under 7. And when I'm jumping in because you spoke about what's around them. And when he went there, he went into the club. It's at the new training facility that was paid for practically by Harry Maguire's move to Manchester United. And it's unbelievable. You drive in, there's foxes with water. It's amazing. And then in the
I
door,
like their old training centre, by the way. It's
yeah.
beautiful.
And they go into the dome, and they're all there. Vardy's kids were there, and
Yeah.
it was just such a nice environment. The staff really took care. It's all set up. The goalposts, everything's magic. And when he went in there, he was about middle of the group, to be fair, in the sense, but he's only been here. And he came off, and again, he's obviously the apple doesn't fall far from the tree with all our children, and they copy your words. He was like, oh, the level's good here. And then when I spoke to them, they were happy for him to go back at a certain point when we travel back, basically. And they just said, make sure he continues to train with better kids. They might not be at this level, but better kids, or do what you can with him, because they're always getting that level, and they're always doing this and this and this. But here, the level's not there. Well, it is, because they go there, but in terms of comparison, it's a completely different platform.
Yeah.
So that the growth is smaller. So that's maybe why the question that is common here, we can take the 12s and go to Spurs and Chelsea, and Gav's example is absolutely perfect with Faisal, because I experienced it myself with another group. They go there, and 13, 14, and all of a sudden at 15, can't happen anymore.
Nothing.
16, it can't happen anymore, because the gap is massive.
Yep.
Those guys have been having 4 or 5 sessions a week with a license at the end of 9
Strength and
10.
conditioning, nutrition, and
Everything. The Padang, the training centre, the parents' education, the level of support. They're not late, and they are absolutely wired, because if they don't perform season by season, they will have a report, and they get moved on, and they get replaced.
These kids in your academy, right, Gavin? I mean, I know you can't you can't point your finger at everybody and say you got to do this, you got to do this. But do they have any support in terms of nutrition? I mean, everybody talks about red meat, and all that stuff. I mean, that's the only thing I know. I mean, because I don't know anything about football. I like to watch female beach volleyball. It's fantastic.
Me
you know,
also,
it's-
yes.
Yeah, we know you do. Yeah.
Yes, you know, but you know, that's the question, right? Are these kids from these different academies also given that extra little incentive in terms of go take care of your nutrition, go take care of yourself, you know, from your not from your parents but your coaching?
Yeah, so in Vietnam, you know, very much so. So we brought in a nutritionist. We had strength and conditioning coaches. The condition of these kids after a year of strength and conditioning, because they'd never done it before. They'd never had anything like that. The size of their legs.
Roughly?
Yeah, we were bringing them in about, you know, not that young, to be honest. They were coming in about 10, 11. And the size of their legs, you know, after a year, they were becoming footballers, you know, and you could see them develop the whole package, not just playing, but actually developing. And they were playing, like you're saying, they were playing 6 days a week. You know, we had 7 pitches there. They went off to, they were given schooling at a private school. They even paid their parents a small fee, because they know that in Vietnam these kids are from all the provinces, and these kids would actually be helping the parents out, you know, planting and all these things. So they had to actually pay the parents a bit of a fee so they could hire someone else to do their job, to give these kids a chance. And you know, that's really what it takes. Really what it takes.
Happening here? Anybody?
I don't think so. I mean, I think it happens in England, but even there, you know, kids have to move. It's a completely different scenario of being able to plant crops and stuff.
Yeah,
over there.
yeah. Not
you know,
legal
depends.
anymore. Not
So
by 12 anyway.
But it's more
I'm
of
keeping my mouth shut.
when they need a kid, or they want a kid, they have to. You know, they have to be living within 90 minutes. So some parents move. They have jobs given, etc.
And you hear the stories how the parents are driving them everywhere, you know.
Yeah,
I mean,
difficult.
I give my son. Sorry, when you talked about beach volleyball, my mind went back to 2010 Asian Games. I was in Guangzhou covering
Did you enjoy it?
I watched the beach volleyball. Actually, was at in Guangzhou. I was supposed to go to the rugby. I ended up at the beach volleyball.
I don't blame you, bro.
Never left. I was supposed to
Funny you say that. My
Astro.
wife keeps on about, my father loves volleyball. He's watching all the time. He's
Yeah.
75,
Yeah,
he's
yeah,
in, like
yeah.
in Thailand.
Which volleyball?
Yeah.
We know which one. Anyway, my son, he goes to international school, but he trains with the academy and the school, and it's 4 or 5 times a week. I mean, he's tired. He comes home by 8 at night, but he loves it. And
Well, as long
always
as you
think to
love it,
myself, and
yeah.
yeah, as long as you, we always encourage him, but he's also trying to play other sports. But I keep
hard.
telling him just stick to one for now. But you can't tell him to do that. You see,
Yeah, it's hard.
and you know,
But regional wise, right? we touched on the whole Vietnamese setup for the kids and versus AMD. How
planting crops.
in terms of youth development, how far behind, if we are, behind the likes of Thailand, Vietnam?
Comparable, yeah. Let's
Yeah.
compare it to the
the region,
ASEAN,
because
for
that's
example.
our
Okay.
job
Where
at
are
the
we?
show.
Where are we?
So, I live in Thailand and have multiple experiences there. I worked in India and Hong Kong also. So Hong Kong, they are grassroots system of leagues, and the level of competition in the games is very, very good and very high. They have divisional, they have divisions at age groups. So they have under 12, but they have 3 tiers, etc.
Oh,
Promotion,
wow.
relegation, and stuff. Yeah, but it's obviously smaller. There's 7 or 8 million people in the country, the city, or the special administrative region, to put it right. So that's maybe a little bit easier. So if you adopted that into a KL or a Bangkok,
It's like Singapore, you know.
yes, it's possible, right? So
Yeah.
that's one thing. So the amount of competitions they can play and leagues every week is high, and that helps. In Thailand, Denny now, as an example, at under 8, there's not really that many leagues for games to play, because what we've noticed is when the coach has been asked to play friendlies, or some of the parents don't really want them to go in and be competitive. Like, I'm all for that, but that's the Welsh in me. Do you know what I mean? Go and run around and bash some people and enjoy playing football and get contact. Let's have some.
Yeah.
But I think that's really important. So, but that's in his environment, and he's mixed between training with Thais, full Thais, and also some expat kids or mixed kids. But in terms of the pro clubs, so Buriram, for example, the likes of Bangkok United, Bangkok Glass, etc., the youth development system is quite a challenge. It's mostly done through schools, the big schools there at Assumption, Thonburi, and these schools. So it's private academy. They try and get a school. They try and get a school scholarship. That doesn't. There's one international school that does it now, Ascot. They do like a lot of scholarships for their kids to go in there, but it's still not perfect there. Thai League, I think, is stronger. I think the clubs are better across the board, but it's difficult there. So it's not that they are better than here. The circumstances are far different and far-ranging, but they are playing more. The excuse here a lot is, traffic lah, cannot lah. Monday to Friday, it's Friday traffic, tabli. Well, so Bangkok doesn't have traffic. Hong Kong doesn't have traffic. Singapore doesn't have. India, my goodness me, there's traffic there.
Bangkok traffic is no joke.
Yeah, so, but they make it and they get there. So again, parent education, manage it as best as you can. If you know the training's half an hour away, don't be leaving with half an hour to go. You need to leave probably an hour here and manage it that way. And that's a big challenge here. But if they could do that through the week, and you don't, let's say Safi's Academy is in last night. In Stabak, right? If you live there or you live near there, just go to Safi's Academy so we can get there in 5 or 10 minutes. You don't have to go far to get one. Just go near enough to get your work in the week. But make sure, if you like Academy B, which is over there, and you play with them in the league, for example, get your games and your match time there on the weekend. That's what I would probably do now if I move back here as a parent.
And there's nothing wrong with doing that?
No, at all. I think just get him playing. Just get him near. If you, I've got a bit more flexibility. Some of us may have also. Some people don't have that. They are locked in an office. They might have the grandmother need to take him, etc. So I think just get him playing through the week, and then you can go from there.
And I don't think that'll be anything, bad or horrible, because BAM, I believe they're trying a new setup whereby the players go through different coaches, so they get more experiences, more different points of view, instead of just one coach being stuck with the set of players from start to finish. So that actually is echoing what you just said.
Yeah.
More experiences, more different coaches. It's good for the kids, right? At the end of the day, more exposure.
Yeah, absolutely. And going back to what you said, I don't think any Southeast Asian countries cracked it, because you can see from the results, can't you? You can see they're not performing on the world stage that their population should, and the passion should. I mean, in India, number one sport isn't football.
Yeah,
it's cricket. But in Southeast Asia, Philippines aside, football is the number one. And there is some amazing talent here. So you have to think, here, Vietnam, Indonesia, and Thailand, they're all underperforming. So, what is it that is going wrong, there that can be fixed?
We know why. I mean,
Hey, the truth is, from just the both of y'all, I already have the answer. We were talking about this, Safi and I, we always joke about it. But the answers are already there, right, Gavin?
Yeah.
But we just can't.
Everybody knows
you
the
can talk about it.
answers sometimes,
They can talk about
listen,
it.
I can tell you this. I had a very good experience when I ran that esports league. Right? The problems were so easy to fix. It takes, what I went through. It takes a long time to fix it. And when I say long, it's not forever. You need about 4 to 5, 6 to 8, 10, you'll see the results properly. But the moment, like I said, and I keep saying it, the moment you suddenly find money, everybody comes in flying.
Yeah,
It's like a pasar malam buffet, all you can eat for 5 ringgit.
But if football aside,
It's the same thing. There's problems.
You know what the
it
problem
can-
is?
What?
From when I was in education here till now, pitches have gotten smaller. The sekolah sekarang tak ada padang. There's no more
Football.
The pitches are used for every sport in the sun, and archery, whatever. We've always given education number one before sports, not forgetting that sports is also an education. Because why do the other countries thrive? Because they've always had a mixture of education and sports. Go hand in hand for kids.
I faced this in Hong Kong.
Yes.
In Hong Kong, the pressure to study is like I've never seen before.
Yeah.
Crazy, isn't it? Yeah.
It's wild, and obviously you spend time there. Gavin. It's
I was
wild.
a teacher there for a bit, yeah.
And
I can help you.
And at the club I was working at, when I revamped the academy there, I made a baseline of the kids had to be attending 85%, and then there was, if you have MC and all this, there's a certain bit we add and take away. But if they didn't make 85%, they would be cut regardless of the level, national team player at youth level or not. We lost about 40 kids.
Wow.
Out of 140 between that rule and parents would say, no, he's not coming. No problem, go. We replaced them with new selections, and things really grew. We went from 2 players in junior national teams to 17 in 8 months. I mean, there's lots of things part of that. There's coach education and what have you. But I think sport, and again, I've spoke a lot. I didn't mean to do that, but examples about my own son. But one of the things I'm teaching him now is that without football, he won't be alive, because I wouldn't have met his mum. I wouldn't
That's
have come to Malaysia. I wouldn't have been sacked and then gone to, or left and then gone to Thailand. So me wanting him to play football is not just because I'd like him to try and have a career if he loves it. It's about meeting people from different cultures, different challenges, experiences, teamwork, learning all of those things. But also now, the football industry, there are so many jobs available,
Absolutely,
careers
you're right.
available with the sport today. It's incredible.
Yeah.
And I'm not that old again. I look it, but I'm trying to use different creams and what have you. But if you go back a little bit,
Nivea, I'm 54.
Nivea.
Nivea.
Hey,
Again.
Nivea sponsor us now.
Yes.
Huh?
Well, that's it. Yeah, Nivea sponsor our junior league as well,
Yeah.
so there you go.
But like,
No,
you
I'm
know,
not joking. Okay, anyway,
if we go back, you
That's
know,
the Botox, isn't it?
no.
I'm just joking.
players when I was younger, it was always playing or coaching.
Yeah.
Now it's not that. It's
Mm.
playing, coaching, data mining, AI,
Yeah.
nutrition, this
Hosting
sport.
as well.
Yeah.
Yes, media,
Everything,
social media,
everything.
there's everything.
Everything.
It's an ecosystem.
But be part of it. If
Yeah.
you're part of it, you will get, and the education goes side by side. But the science is there anyway. The
Right.
science is there about studying.
I'm
Right.
gonna have to cut you guys
Yep,
off
yep.
because we haven't got much
kita
time.
bagi Matt Holland cakap, I think
Kalau
until tomorrow.
semua cakap dia sampai besok lah kita habis. Just to let you guys know, those who are in the middle watching the Premier League at the moment, Aston Villa is leading Newcastle 1-0. Chelsea is leading Crystal Palace 2-0, and Nottingham Forest leading Brentford 1-0.
So malam ni
That's
ada
all
perlawanan yang
Penting untuk
Ditunggu-tunggu
semua
oleh
peminat Arsenal dan Manchester
Arsenal.
United.
What time is the kickoff?
12:30, 12:30 malam.
Where can we watch the game?
Arsenal.
On a TV which has Astro. Okay.
So kita ada 5 best moment.
I don't have Astro, bro.
Yeah, then go to the Mama. Oh, last time can
Bang.
watch the Mama. Dulu ada
Hey,
kan?
no, no,
Masih
the
ada
last
ke?
2
Boleh
Sundays
pergi
ago,
Mama?
I tried to drive around. The Mama is all there's no more like
Yeah, it's
too expensive.
No
or what?
more Bola and Mama, is it?
Hey, Bola and
Hey.
Mama, hey, bro. That show got us into so much trouble.
okay,
uh,
5 snippet daripada Manchester. Tak sempat.
can we watch it?
Oh, yes, sebelum tu.
Best moment
Oh, you have to lah. You have to
Yeah.
watch the best moments Manchester United lah.
Yeah.
Anybody a United fan here? You, Gavin?
No one told me I'd have to watch this.
Yes.
Obviously not.
Which team do you support?
West Ham.
Oh. Okay, these are the supposedly the best 5 moments. Is it?
He wasn't bad, was he?
I
It's
think he
okay.
had a good career ahead of
Yeah.
him, but you know,
Showing some potential.
this is Lingard, is it?
This is Lingard.
Lingard.
Park Ji-sung, what a player, man.
Park Ji-sung.
I remember. Okay, let's see what's 1 and 2.
Rooney.
Are these the best 5 moments I've seen?
5 moments, he says, only against Arsenal.
Oh, John O'Shea.
This pass from Scholes is unbelievable.
Yeah.
This scoreline was 4-2, right? Cristiano scores 2 goals, right?
4-2.
And Henry pushes him, and then he gets him back.
Okay
that was a
lah, itulah
fantastic game.
dia.
Hey, Ryan
So,
Giggs' goal against Arsenal, FA Cup
FA Cup
semi-final.
semi-final.
Yeah,
Yeah,
Same game as
1999.
David Beckham.
Yeah.
Wayne Rooney's breakout. There are 2 actually.
You sound like a Man
Fenerbahce.
United fan.
No, I just love football, and Arsenal is a fantastic club. The only reason why I started supporting the Premier League is
United.
because of my relative, who's an Arsenal fan. And as a kid, I used to come here for holidays, and as the youngest boy amongst the cousins, I had to do the dishes, and then he said one day we'll watch a game. We took a small wager, because see, the games are like 12 at 3 in the morning, right? So he's gone to school, and this is TV1 and TV2 and TV3 back in the day. I've seen the news in the afternoon, Manchester United are beating the team. So I acted like, I have no idea what's going on. I'll pick Manchester. And then slowly I started following them, and I love the Premier League. And that game, Manchester United versus Manchester City last weekend, is such a good throwback to what the Premier League was all about. Pace, power, dynamic, and God bless Pep Guardiola. He's gone. He's gone at the end of the season. Gavin, what do you think?
Carrick's at the wheel, isn't he?
Put that paper there.
Give him what he
Sign a
wants.
contract.
By the way, he supports Portsmouth.
Yeah, went to Portsmouth University.
Really?
Anyway,
Yeah.
and I worked in Southampton in the docks after my A levels, and then I went to University Portsmouth.
Good friend of mine I was there before Christmas. Chris Neville, he worked with England, 2 World Cups, Euros. Worked for Portsmouth Premier League and with Harry and all that, and he's now the PhD course director at Southampton's Holland University.
I covered the game where Portsmouth beat United at Old Trafford when Kushak got sent off.
Right.
I was with Astro. Oh, Arena. Yeah. Okay. Anyway, that's
Are we
all
done?
we have for the
Yep.
show. We were like 25 minutes over, but it doesn't matter. Thank you very much, Matt, and also Gavin for
you.
being with us. Kepada semua yang menonton Pemain Ke-12, terima kasih. Walaupun kita dalam berbincang dalam bahasa Inggeris, kita harap anda semua, I was going to speak Indonesian. Anda semua
So many languages.
yeah, I
in the
have
show.
too many because I'm already thinking about
Yeah.
somewhere else at the moment. Not Bali, okay. So terima kasih kepada semua sebab menonton kami di Pemain ke-12 dan kita akan bersama anda seperti yang sama pada masa yang sama dan hari yang sama pukul 10 malam di TikTok Live Sina dan juga Mix dan juga di Radio Mix dan juga Sina. So daripada saya Rashid Saleh, Safi Salih dan juga Roshan, terima kasih dan jumpa lagi minggu depan.
Minggu hadapan. Jumpa
Bye
guys.
bye.
Bye bye.